Just look at the camera or look at you. Bryan Neuberg in a band called Disgust. I was in 5th grade and I went into the skate shop and it was like South Padre, going to like seeing the beach and kids skating. It was, as a 13-year-old, it was, I was just so like wowed. And I went into the skate shop and this DRI was playing really loud. And I was like, this is DRI. And Eric Brown was like, you don't know fucking shit about DRI. And I was like, oh my God, he's so cool, you know? Like, and he gave me the first mixtape. And it was like all the music from the East Coast, from the DC scene, from Boston, from LA, Scream, all these legendary bands that we know now that were covered in American hardcore, filtered up to me at least on these old mixed tapes, and they were like written who they were. And so that's how I got started trying to piece together punk rock history. And on there was one song that captured my soul, and it just said Bad Posture. And the song was GDFM. It's goddamn motherfucking son of a bitch, but it's a long acronym. And so I wanted to find out who this Bad Posture band was, and I did some research and talked to some skaters and got to some people, and it turned out that they were a Brownsville band in the late 70s, early 80s, around the time that the Cro-Mags were playing, the Beastie Boys were a punk rock band, around the time where CBGB's was a hub with Bad Brains, was this band called Bad Posture out of Brownsville. Punk rock is a very geographical, local, and regional phenomenon. People really repped, not unlike hip hop, punk rock was very loyal and proud about where it came from. So when I had found out that Bad Posture was a band from the Valley, not knowing, had never seen a concert, never hearing of any band ever, any scene, not knowing any of this, I was very inspired and motivated as like this teenage kid, just knowing like there was something here in the Valley. We built up probably 20 to 24 songs, and then we had a following. We would play, it's hard to know because when as a kid I think back and the crowd seemed like that they were like 150, but I know that they were probably more like 35 to 50. But everything was just bigger because I was, you know. So now we had like a little bit of a squad. Disgust. Our motto is, we are what normal people hate. We had carved out with razor blades in our arms, DHC, Disgust Hardcore. And being in the band was just, I didn't give it a lot of thought. There wasn't like, we're gonna take this somewhere. It was just be as badass as we could, put everything we had in it. I would take Chloroseptic up on the stage because I would blow my vocal cords out within 3 songs and I would have to numb my throat. It was just about giving every fucking cell of your body to the shows and to the audience and just to the movement. I felt like we were part of a movement, but never, but disconnected. Like Minor Threat and all these bands, their heyday was over. It's like when you see the light from a star that has already died out, but it's traveling through light years. We were living in the afterglow of the second wave of punk rock, that those bands had really largely subsided, but they were still alive to us because we had no sense of history. We didn't have access to the internet that didn't exist. We just had these tapes. So for all we knew, Minor Threat and Black Flag, these bands were still completely relevant, but so we were living in this kind of afterglow of a bygone era.